Hey, bro, it's Cathy Cat. Ramen soldier, what do you want?
I'm paying a service fee. Why am I doing my own service?
I've been there only once, and once was enough.
Hello, podcast kittens. It is Cathy Cat and...
I'm Ladybeard, coming at you with another rule-abiding installment of
Cat with a beard.
Today, we are discussing the
Rules today, yeah.
rules of ramen.
The rules of ramen, but not all ramen, just a certain type of ramen, which is the Jiro-kei ramen. The Jiro-kei ramen, which has a lot of strict rules.
Very, very strict rules.
It is a little bit apparently like the men's club of ramen.
I expect you to obey every single one.
Apparently. So they have their own just to this type of ramen related manners and rules that make it stand out in the ramen world. But the fans, they call themselves the Jiro-ri-dan. So they're like the big fans. If you heard the word Jiro-kei, Jiro-kei is not the same. Jiro-kei is a fashion brand. Jiro-kei is a type of ramen which has adamant followers.
Yeah, now let's just explain what this actually is and why. These exist all over Japan, these Jiro-kei ramen establishments?
They will have something like, they will have Jiro in the name.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it will have, that will give it away, because then, if I go in, I have to follow all those rules instead of having a good time.
So the Jiro is the particular style of ramen itself, or it's the particular setting in which it's served?
It is, apparently, they're popular because they have massive portions, intense flavors,
right,
and they literally make a mountain of toppings on it.
I see. All right. Well, that sounds awesome.
It sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until you realize how mental the clientele is.
Apparently, the rules that we're gonna talk about have been made by customers that kind of became almost adamant fans I don't even know. It's almost otaku culture for ramen.
Super otaku ramen consumers. Who it wasn't the people making the ramen and selling it to you and owning the establishment who made these rules. It was their groupies.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Takarazuka.
Yeah, exactly.
Our episode on Takarazuka. It's pretty much a lot of the rules get made by the fans.
A ramen form of that.
It's pretty much that. So at Takarazuka, all the rules were done by the female fans. Here for Jiro-kei ramen, the rules are done by the male guys customers.
So let's talk about how this came to be. This whole thing kicked off in the 1960s when a ramen Jiro was founded by Takumi Yamada.
Yes. So the characteristics of the Jiro-kei ramen.
It became popular for its massive portions and intense flavors.
Exactly. And the broth is also very rich, very oily, fatty, pork-based, soy flavor. So calorific. Pig fat
in your ramen broth.
It's gonna be quite filling.
Fat. Just gain a bit of weight to win that sumo competition.
You probably wouldn't allow yourself to have that on a daily basis.
Not on a daily basis, no, every now and again perhaps, but it's not ideal.
The noodles are also very thick and chewy and robust to hold out against the heavy toppings, because literally it will be like a pyramid of toppings on top, which makes it very Instagrammable. It looks great, but the problem is the rules.
Yep, the rules.
You'll have to eat all of that. We come to that in a moment. Toppings can be a mountain of bean sprouts. If you don't like bean sprouts, you're already out there.
Not too bad.
Minced garlic, chashu pork, and pork fat.
Pork fatty. Delicious though, in broth. It's like,
probably
so
delicious, yeah. So, fanatic customers, those who love Jiro-style ramen, are called Jiro-ri-dans. And they make it their training to eat ramen Jiro, visiting it repeatedly or traveling around the country to other ramen Jiro places. It's like a pilgrimage.
Their training? As in their discipline.
Probably part of their it says pilgrimage to go. Unlike many other ramen chain restaurants, the taste of ramen Jiro differs from one restaurant to another, so that's already interesting.
I see.
So they enjoy exchanging information about the differences in taste by visiting various restaurants and then shared maybe on the internet or on the blogs as a material for communication. Sounds great. I'm still up for this, but rules.
But here we go. So, very unique and strict rules, and breaking them can result in great anger from the customers and the owner of the establishment. So that you cannot be
Kicked out.
the victim of horrendous abuse. Let's go through all the rules so that you can eat this remarkable ramen experience in Japan and live to tell the tale.
Yeah, and I said literally most of the rules. Some might have their particular regional rules, but these are the most important rules. And then you also have to add some research on top of that. Yeah, we warned you. We warned you.
This is hard work. Like, if you're having a holiday in Japan, this could be too much hard work to get to this. But hey, for those of you who are into it, here we go.
Here we go. So first of all, it has a meal ticket system. You know that for most normal ramen shops.
Yep.
They usually offer 2 different sizes, small and large. Oh boy, do not order large.
By the way, if you're thinking about saying, "Oh, chef, I'm quite hungry, but I'm just not sure if I can handle a large. Can I get some kind of 1.5 size?" No. Smaller or large, that's order option.
It's recommended you start with a regular size unless you were very hungry or you're like a big eater. Yeah. Then, yes, you can do that. But generally, stick with the small. The small will be gigantic already.
It's already going to be plenty for you, my dear.
Actually, Shiori, you said you had an experience at one of those places.
Yes, I've been there only once, and once was enough.
Really? Wow.
So what size did you order?
I ordered the smallest. Actually, they have like in the place when I went there, they have like female portion size.
Oh, okay. All right.
So breaking up the Ben's Club a little bit.
But it was already like double size for me.
Really?
Oh,
okay,
double size of
massive.
a normal ramen restaurant, kind of.
Yeah, like 2 meal kind of amount.
It is interesting that Shiori thinks that one is enough, because Shiori is, as your personality is rather otaku-y. When you get into something, you think it's pretty freaking awesome in general, and you want to be quite dedicated to it. So the fact you've tried this and said, "I won't have that again," clearly it's quite the experience. You got to really be into it.
I think the problem is that one of the rules is that you have to finish it. I think if there wasn't the pressure to finish it and everyone giving you the evil eye and the stinky eye for not having finished it can kind of ruin the experience a little bit. Even though there wasn't a smaller portion, you probably would have chosen a smaller portion if you could. But since there wasn't, she had to eat double of what she's comfortable eating with. That's not really fun.
And also, I can't actually enjoy the taste, because I have to finish it quickly.
And more rules.
Yeah, this is the thing. So let's, thank you. So let's go through these rules. Freaking hell. So buying with a meal ticket, only 2 sizes, normal and then huge. All right.
It's pretty much huge and huger, though.
Well,
if you go for normal sizes.
Or female, and the one that Shiori went to.
And that's already large. So the female size is probably large. Then, small is huge and large is just Hulk size.
Quickly, can you imagine how much trouble you would be in the Western world if you had on your sizes menu large, very large, or female? You'd be in so much trouble so quickly.
That would be a problem.
Hashtag cancel Jiro Ramen.
I guess, yeah. But anyways, after you're buying a meal ticket, you wait inside the restaurant and take a seat. The timing for showing your meal ticket and taking a seat varies from restaurant to restaurant, so be sure to read the atmosphere and research in advance. Don't forget to fill up the self-serve water when you sit down, because you might not be able to get up anymore.
You're not allowed to get up again. So once you're in the chair, you're not allowed to get up until this ramen is consumed. So if you need some H2O, too bad. Too bad. You got all that sloppy pig fat and carbohydrates to get down. You're not allowed to have any water if you didn't fill up at the start. So
unless you're lucky and there might be a tumbler near you.
You only get 1 glass as well. So.
Oh boy. So call and response is apparently really important.
Call and response.
So the staff will then approach you. You're still sitting there. You have your ticket in your hand. Now, first of all, you're not supposed to talk to the staff by yourself. You have to wait until they come round to you.
That's right.
Don't spoke unless spoken to.
Yep.
And the staff will ask you then, do you want garlic or other things of your topics? Beginners should just simply answer yes or no. Don't add anything to it. Add yes or no. That's it.
Beginners. Yes, sensei. Just do as you're told. Oh my goodness.
There are usually 4 types of toppings: garlic, yasai, abura, karame, and they're all for free, which makes them so popular because it's a giant portion plus giant toppings. And the giant toppings extra, if you want to double them up or triple them up, is for free.
Okay. Actually, that's free extra toppings. Okay, so that's one fun point we found so far.
We found the fun.
We found one bit of fun so far. All right.
So,
So
ninniku.
it's sorry, before we continue, it's going to be a monster of a meal, and this for free you can make even more monstrous a meal. Fairly well priced for the number of calories you're getting in one meal. Yeah.
That's how the fans are loving that place.
Cool. Okay.
It's like big eaters there.
So we've been pretty negative about this place so far, but here's just a positive. It's a lot of food for a small price, and that's part of the gimmick. So
I think that's where you kind of really feel the value of it as well. And I think that's probably also why the otakus are trying to encourage a quick turnaround so the store doesn't have a loss.
I see. Okay.
So I guess that's part of it. Yeah.
That's considerate. All right.
So topics you can have there on like to top your thing up even more is ninniku. So that's garlic, yasai, those are the bean sprouts or cabbage, abura, which is the pork fat.
Oh, from the back of a pig. Oh, delicious.
And then karame soy sauce.
Oh.
So to order in detail, tell the type and the amount of toppings. This is the other method, just called call or spell.
Yeah, you call out call or spell.
Mahol, magic is happening here. So there are two types of toppings, more or less. So for example, if you want more garlic, you can say garlic mashi. So remember the word mashi. And if you want even more garlic, you call it mashi mashi.
Mashi mashi.
That's kind of cute.
Mashi mashi.
So for example, if you want tons of garlic, you can say ninniku mashi mashi.
You know.
Ninniku mashi mashi.
Mashi mashi. You know.
And if you want to have, for example, no pork fat back, then you just say you want to have less of that or none of that. Is that okay to say none, or will you get into trouble?
No. You're saying yes or no.
You can say more or less.
Okay.
And less means almost nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
But you can't completely have it taken out.
Yeah. Obviously.
So I have a question we have here. This is the ordering method known as call or spell.
Yeah, spell like magic spell.
That kind of spell. I thought you were talking about A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
No,
I'm like,
magic
how is
spell.
that related? I
No,
see.
magic spell, because they only ask, do you want to have a garlic? But then you have to order all these toppings at once. In one sentence.
In one sentence.
So it's gonna sound like something along the lines of like ninniku mashi mashi, yasai sukunabe, arbara karame mashi mashi, or something like that. So it sounds like a really magic spell.
So it's like,
I see. That kind of spell. Well, that does sound like some hocus pocus.
ramen soldier, what do you want? Ninniku mashi mashi, garlic mashi mashi, abura mashi mashi, karame mashi mashi mashi.
It does sound like that. Does it? Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, yes,
mushy,
sir.
Mushy. Yeah, wow.
Oh no.
I see. Thank you for explaining.
Thank
This whole
you.
time, I read that sentence and was
I'm
like,
already
spell.
sweating because I'm like thinking how I would get this wrong and the pressure of people giving me bad looks for that.
Oh, poor little Cathy Cat. She's upset.
probably
She's
getting
being
stressed. I'm
already
getting-
being bullied for her lack of ramen etiquette.
Apparently, no, there's more.
Jiro-ramen.
There's way more.
Exactly. We haven't
If
even
you're
scraped
not
the surface
sweating yet, you
yeah.
haven't even listened to all the
got
rules
the
yet.
surface, that's right.
So first of all, no slurping.
Yep. So normally in Japan, when you eat your soup and your noodles, you could slurp it up, and that's considered good manners. It means you're having a nice time with it. Unlike the Western world, when that's considered very rude to slurp your soup.
Well, and also considered very rude at the Jiro-kei ramen because the heavy, thick broth and the large portions, you're not supposed to slurp this. Bad manners. Now it's bad manners. They're different from everything else.
Yeah, so any other ramen, slurp. Jiro-ramen, no
Nope.
slurp.
No slurping.
No slurp.
No slapping.
No.
All right, next one. No requests.
All right, no requests.
Once you make your choice, it's expected that you eat without complaining.
Yep.
No complaining.
No complaints. Whatever your opinions are, you can keep it to yourself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, keep them to yourself.
I don't care what you think.
Next one, finish your ramen.
All of it. Every drop.
It's expected that you finish the entire bowl.
Yeah.
Leaving food behind is considered wasteful and disrespectful to the chef who prepared the meal. Meaning, if you ordered this thing, even the smallest portion, you have to finish it like poor Shiori, no matter the cost.
No matter what. Yeah, this is a bit of a tangent, but it is interesting how different cultures approach this, because in Chinese culture, you're supposed to specifically not finish all of your meal, because if you eat everything on your plate, it kind of indicates that you weren't given enough. So that's sort of insulting to your host. Whereas over here in your Jiro-kei ramen, if you don't finish it all, then that's insulting to the chef. So learn your culture and the place you're at, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I heard this one case where the owner actually saw that there was a young lady coming into the store, and he gave her an exponentially larger portion than what she ordered. And that was kind of like a portion harassment of like, ha 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 ha, now you have to finish that kind of. That sounds just mean.
Food portion harassment.
That sounds just mean, because then she will try and force herself to eat all of that. That sounds a bit
I mean, it sounds like you're going to end up with ramen vomited up all over your store, frankly. It doesn't sound to me like a really smart move. I don't understand that. Like, because he knew these rules existed and she'd be pushing herself through that. I don't know what I'm thinking about that. Maybe she didn't even know about the rules. Maybe she just ate half and said, that's enough for me.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have made a story, right?
Oh, there we go.
No talking. Focus on your bowl and eat quickly. So that gigantic portion that you've been given that you're really excited about, you have to eat fast. You can't just enjoy and
very fast
smell the coffee. You have to eat it fast. You have
to get through it. It's by the way, that thing looks like it's a good 2,000 calories or something.
Wow.
You got to get through that in 15 minutes. You're not permitted to faff around, bro.
Yeah, so some stores make ramen one after another, like a chain. They expect customers to wait in line, so people will already be waiting behind you. So it's assumed that the customer sitting in line will finish eating by the time the next ramen is served, so often 10 to 15 minutes later. So you only have 10 to 15 minutes to finish that gigantic bowl. So if someone eats slowly, the next ramen cannot be served because there's no seat for that person. It's called rotomidashi, lot disorder, and is considered undesirable in some places where the line is uninterrupted. So you can't eat slowly. You have to eat fast too.
So this one is where they got me. This one is the one when I said, all right, you know what? I'm going elsewhere for lunch. Just enjoy yourselves. Because you've got this, why would you go to have this giant meal when you have to hurry through it and you can't just eat it at your own pace? And also, I'm getting told that somehow as the paying customer, it's my responsibility to take care of all this hooty-doo. I'm like, well, I gave you my money, bro, so I'm going to sit here and take as long as I need to consume this giant stack of calories. But no, you will not. You are going to down and get the hell out. I'm like, all right. I would think for a bowl that large, you should be permitted as much time as you need.
That's what I thought, because I think isn't the volume the fun part of it? So aren't you there to enjoy the meal and savor the meal and appreciate the chef? And then you can maybe finish the whole thing.
Yeah. You see that you have to mung down, get the hell out of there, and then vomit.
That actually feels more wasteful in one way, I think, because if you can't really sit and enjoy it properly, that feels like you kind of waste the effort of the chef. For the sake of another customer, kind of quick next one.
Different perspectives.
I guess so, yeah.
Perspectives.
Also, once seated, never stand up.
Yeah, that's right. We told you before. If you miss out your chance to get water at the start, you're not getting it.
The restaurants are generally small, so it's annoying for the staff if people move their seats. So this is simply because there is a possibility that you will be then late for your meal. You only have 10 minutes to 15 minutes, so you don't. You have to better have taken your bathroom break before it's your turn.
Yeah. You better not have any emergencies or anything. You better not have to pull up a sock.
Don't start coughing or something like that. No.
Nothing like that.
And then once you're done, clean the table and leave quickly. As soon as you finish eating, leave your bowl and cup on the counter, wipe down the table yourself, say "gochsou-sama bao," and leave the restaurant.
Now, you need to clean your own table.
Yes.
What kind of service industry are we in, ladies and gentlemen, when the paying customer has to do all the service? Currently I have a slight gripe that more and more of the restaurants are requiring you to order via QR code.
Oh, yeah.
And I say to myself, but I'm paying a service fee. Why am I doing my own service? Surely this is your responsibility.
I guess a lot of places in Japan don't have service fees included anymore, right? So if they charge you table charge and you have a QR code, that's kind of a bit like, wow, table charge and
I'd be like,
still no person, okay? But recently we have those cute little robot cats that bring you food. I do like them though.
Nice,
they're cute.
Robot cats.
They're cute.
Robot cat.
Oh, by the way, if you were planning on going together with a friend or a significant other, well, tough luck, because you will probably not be sitting together, because you also can't sit together.
And you can't talk either.
So yeah, the business that focuses on quick turnover, the basic rule is to vacate your seat immediately after eating your ramen and welcome the next customer. In the case of consecutive seating, if there are people whose eating pace does not match the other person, so for example, you eat faster than your friend, there will be a delay in vacating seats, causing a turnover rate to drop. So in addition, seating in a row often leads to increased conversation, which you're not supposed to have anyways, which may disturb the concentration of other customers. This may have a negative impact on the overall atmosphere of the restaurant. How dare you sit with your friends and have a conversation? We're not here for a fun moment. We're at Ramen Jiro. We're here to abide by the rules and eat their ramen quickly. And
It's like eating in a library, isn't it?
also, there's extra rules. Like, for example, you should bring coins. No big bills.
Oh, yeah. You can't bring any notes. It has to be coins. Yep. How many coins are we spending for this experience, by the way? Do we know how many yen?
The good thing is it's cheap. It's between 800 and 1,000 yen for that giant portion. Right. So again, thumbs up for that.
Well, that's also
Why
quite
are the fans so mean?
Quite an inconvenient number of yen that I must have in coins with me in order to do this. You'd have to go and specifically organize those coins in advance. It's not like 1 or 200. It's, because normally for 800, you'd just bust out your 1,000 yen bill and you'd be like, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think, again, most of those rules have been made by customers. And then I think some of the chefs just went like, yeah, damn right. Yes. And accepted that. But there are a couple of places who are probably trying to be different. Maybe they give you like a coin breakdown thing while you're waiting in line outside. That would be the smart thing. Or like we said, we had smaller portion called the female portion that at least will think about having a slightly smaller portion, even though it wasn't so small.
But also, are you ordering with one of those machines? Like normally the Ramen
usually
place
the machines,
uses the machine.
yeah.
So does the machine take notes or it only takes coins?
It depends on the machine type. Recently, the machines sometimes can break down big coins, big bills, but some of them only accept 1,000 yen.
Okay, 1,000 yen I can handle. That's reasonable. Shaz?
Another unwritten rule is you cannot spend much time in front of the tickets machine.
Crying out loud. Okay. All right, you better know what you want to order going in.
You have to already know what you want to order before you go.
Bro, you better not have any unexpected distractions throughout this whole process.
Yeah,
either,
or you can't read the kanji. You need a moment to read it.
Yeah,
already.
like
Everyone
that.
hates you for the moment you stepped into that place.
Yeah, make sure your phone's on silent because if someone calls you halfway through this experience. What do you mean mum fell over? Well, hang on. I got ramen to consume. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my goodness. So there are Jiro-kei ramen restaurants for beginners. So apparently those ones are okay-ish to go to. 2 of them are in Tokyo. One of them is in Kanagawa. That is the Ikuta Ikimaeten. The rules are clearly posted on the wall, so you can read them.
No excuses for not knowing what's going on.
In English, I assume. Are they in... No. Oh, no, not in English.
No, that's another rule. Take your foreign wacky tobacco language out of our ramen store. Our 800 yen ramen store. Only the best will do.
The turnover is very fast there as well, as there are 7 people per lot. One of the most in Jiro. And since 7 people change seats at the same time, it's easy to know when to take a seat. So he's like 7 people in, eat, 10 minutes out. 7 people in, eat, 10 minutes out.
See.
7 minutes, eat, 10 minutes out. So...
Hang on, do you go in and out in groups of 7?
Generally, yeah.
You can't go one by one as seats vacate?
Nope. Well... Ideally, it comes in lots. That's how the chef prepares the portions.
I see.
It's a bit like
I see. So it's like a conveyor belt system. I see. It's like like the Ford motor cars back in the day.
Okay, but next one is in Tokyo. That is the Hibarigaoka Ikimaiten.
Here we go.
Okay, you can choose small portions at the ticket machine. Woo!
Happy days. Good job.
Because the
Hibarigaoka.
restaurant is popular and always crowded, even those who are anxious about going to Jiro for the first time can watch and imitate the movement of those in front of them.
Good.
Copy the locals.
Good.
Survive.
Like karate class, when you're a white belt, you stand at the back, you watch everyone in front of you.
Exactly.
Mimic.
Watch the rules.
Just mimic.
And then there is Kannana Ichinoe Ten. That's also in Tokyo. The menu buttons on the vending machines are color-coded to make it easy to tell the difference and probably choose faster.
All right.
Paper on the table describing the types of toppings and how to order garlic makes it easier for first-time visitors.
Oh, well, that's good. Someone helped us out somewhat in this
Yes, so there is actually a little bit of help there. So I just said some of the stores, they might have those rules, but at least they're like being a bit more open about them, or at least give you help to figure your way through the forest of rules of eating ramen.
This could be the most aggressive and critical we've ever been on the podcast. The most critical we've ever been of anything ever.
You know what, though? If you're the type of person that I am, now I am like, okay, I am slightly upset, but I want to know if it's really that bad and go to one of these
I'm
places.
actually curious myself. I'm actually curious myself now. So I guess, despite this 30-minute-long bashing we've given the Jiro Ramen, it turns out to be somewhat an advertisement for them. Look at that. Look at that. All press is good press.
Exactly. I mean, I think whenever you have a cheat day, we should maybe go to one of those ramen places, and then afterwards we should talk about our experience.
All right, you better not eat
podcast.
for the next week in advance, so you got enough room in your tum-tum.
I guess I have to go find a place that has female portion sizes.
Right, female portion. Hibarigaoka, apparently that's a place for it.
Another place that you can go as a beginner is Jiro-inspired ramen shops.
Oh, it's like the beginners Jiro-inspired ramen.
They are not as strict as actual Jiro restaurants, but they have the same language and same code.
Okay, but if you like break the rules, they're not gonna like give you the evil eye.
No. They're actually really sweet, family-friendly
okay,
places.
well, that's nice.
I know one of the places in Tokyo. I actually go there instead of actually going to Jiro.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Jiro inspired.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that
the
sounds
portion
nice.
size is smaller than the usual Jiro as well.
Really?
Okay, it seems like it's almost a bit like, in a way, almost religious. So people are like they call it a pilgrimage, going to the different places and abiding to the rules. But then there's like a softer version of it, going like, "That's all right, just enjoy the ramen." We're inspired by it, but we're not as strict.
Okay, good. I can get behind that.
But
Jiro inspired.
Actually, Jiro inspired seems to be a normal experience. I want the hot experience now.
Okay, all right.
I'm curious about how bad it is.
All right.
Also, I'm curious to see how Ladybeard will perform in a place like that.
I reckon just from the moment I go anywhere near the store, everyone's just going to go, oh.
They're going to get it wrong.
Everyone would just be giving me stink eye from the second time.
We just go in with our outfits like this and are already troubled because probably I can't really get into the small store with my big dresses.
Even if we're not in our gimmick, it would just go in as normal human beings. It's going to be like, what are these two foreigners with their long hair dribbling in the ramen and their inability to stop talking to each other?
I mean, you know what? We should look at these rules and try and like get them as well as possible. Like go in there with like no facial expressions. Go in there, sit down, don't talk with each other.
Act like we're total pros.
Yeah, like total pros, and see if they let us pass.
Maybe I'll go in there with a stink face on it. I'll go in there looking stink facier than everyone. That way, if anyone gives me an evil eye, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm here every day.
But you're already talking.
I'll do that with my telekinesis.
Yeah, just give them that kind of look. Well, would you go to one of those ramen restaurants and would you follow all the rules? Let us know in the YouTube comments on this. If you have seen this on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to give this a like. Maybe share it with some friends.
Well, let's just say something positive to wrap this bad boy up.
I mean, I'm curious now. I want to go. I want to go. It sounds like torture, but it's like the same thing with Takarazuka. I'm curious now.
But also, it does sound delicious. Like the ramen and the delicious pig back fat. Sounds delicious.
I'm not so much for the pig back fat, but there are tons of garlic. I'm up there.
The pig back fat. The pig back fat. Man, I'm going to get the pig back fat. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up.
All right, guys. Next episode is coming up next week, so don't forget to follow, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and share this with friends. And we catch you soon on another episode of
Cat with Fin.